G'day everyone, welcome to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about contracts and how important they are for film. First of all, as you can see, I have some new lights at the back. I put up an LED strip which changes colors. I've got green at the moment. This is the remote here. So basically I can dim them, change them to whatever color I want, which is great. I also have this arm that's just come from eBay. It's my podcasting arm, so it holds the mic. I can move it wherever I want, things like that. Let me know if you want a different color. I've got green at the moment. So yeah, contracts. Now, there are some people that don't use contracts when they do film. For me, I feel it's very important because legally it gives you a leg to stand on if anything happens. There are some issues with contracts though, like for example, if you have a writer and producers agreement. So a lot of writers don't like to give away the rights to a project they've written. However, most producers won't make the project unless they have the contract in place. So it's one of those things that's a little bit it's a little bit iffy because you know the writers obviously, as you would understand, go to all that effort to write a project, then they've got to give the rights over to the producer, which is all the rights, the copyright. Basically the producer could do whatever they want to do with it. They could shelve it and not make it. You know, they could release it to whatever territories, all those sorts of things. And there are certain parts in contracts that people are a bit hesitant to sign. So yeah, a lot of filmmakers don't use contracts. I do personally, so does people I'm working with, Nate, and other people like that. There's always contracts signed, whether it be producers agreements, writers agreement, actors agreement, crew agreements, cast agreement, whatever it may be. Non-disclosure agreements, you know, even locations. If you lock in a location, you can have them sign a location agreement if it's a house. If it's more of a building, then I do like a site agreement, because the site sort of covers the car park, you know, behind the building, those sort of surrounding areas. So yeah, there's all different ones, you know, and yeah, it's worth doing, because if you have a falling out, or you know, some contracts might have where the actors get footage to use on show reels, which is awesome, but it might not be, or if you're putting a film into a festival, then they might not get it till after the festival. So then, you know, if they keep asking you for it, you could say to them, sorry, it's in your contract, you got to wait till it's done the festival circuit, then you get it. Or you might be happy just to give it to them before it goes to the festival, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of issues that come into it. There are some people that, you know, when they sign a contract, they'll sign it as long as they're part of the project. And then I guess it comes down to the individuals who are making the project. Me personally, I've had that sort of experience, and I won't do it again. Especially if somebody has written it and they want to cast themselves as the lead, I either won't be involved, or you know, they'll have to sign over the film in most cases, unless they're easy enough to work with and they understand how it all works. You know, your director controls it, first AD, etc. Then yeah, I'll consider it. Also, people are saying that contracts can be changed. So if you get a contract and you go through and there's certain, you might have point number 2 or 3 that you're not 100% sure on, or you'd like to change it, then by all means get together with the producer or whoever has put the contract together, and see if you can come up with a mutual agreement. Sometimes if you both do, then you can change it. Fine, that's it. Contracts can be changed, but it has to be mutual by both parties. You can't just change it and then hope that the other people accept it, because it won't happen, and then the project more than likely doesn't get made. Maybe the only time that you won't sign a contract if it's a university film or a student film. A lot of the time they don't do that. But most of the films that we make, myself included, and I think Sean Schlewer, Sean Gonzalvo, those sorts of guys, Nate, they all make sure they have contracts in place, because it covers them as well as yourself. Geez, that's pretty green on my face, eh? Cool. Yeah, so this is just a short video talking about that. If anybody wants to discuss contracts, I'm happy to do that. I have copies of all the contracts I use. If you are writing up a project, also I'm looking at getting. I'm going to be making a different video on this, but I'm looking at getting into directing. So I'm going to make another video about what I'm looking at doing with that. But this was just a short video, guys. Like I said, share, like, and subscribe, and leave comments below if there's any other videos that you would like that you want to see me make them on. I do have the Facebook Live tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you want to watch another one of them, make sure you tune in, and I will speak to you all later. Bye.